between the two sides, the U.S. and the Iranian side, concerning the war-ending deal. And Iran's president heads to Pakistan while U.S. and Iranian teams work to finalize a war-ending deal in Muscat. Parliament Speaker Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf and the Minister of Foreign Affairs Abbas Araghchi, they meet Oman's Sultan Haytham bin Tariq to coordinate on Strait of Hormuz and also all the arrangements concerning the negotiations process. Let's have a look.
Iran advances diplomacy on parallel tracks as the war-ending deal with Washington moves closer to finalization. President of Iran, Masoud Pezeshkian, travels to Pakistan for talks expanding Tehran's regional outreach. At the same moment, negotiators engage with the U.S. on terms to end hostilities. The core negotiations focus on de-escalation, sanctions relief, and security arrangements. The U.S. signals readiness to release Iranian funds as part of the framework. For Tehran, the deal structure ties relief to concentrate security commitment with the Strait of Hormuz at the center of discussions. That maritime track plays out in Muscat. Iranian Parliament Speaker Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf and Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi meet Sultan Haytham bin Tariq Al Said, according to Abbas Araghchi's Telegram page. The meeting covers arrangements for managing the Strait of Hormuz. Photos from the meeting show direct coordination between Tehran and Muscat, Oman's role as mediator again proving critical. Oman has hosted multiple rounds of indirect U.S.-Iran talks. By including the Sultan, Iran signals it wants regional buy-in on any maritime arrangement. Managing the strait is not just about the U.S.-Iran relations. It affects the global oil flows, Gulf state security, and shipping insurance costs. Coordination with Oman gives Tehran a channel to reassure neighbors while negotiation with Washington is continuing. The simultaneous moves, presidential visit to Pakistan and high-level talks in Muscat, show Iran is preparing for a post-deal region. As U.S.-Iran teams work on the final text, Tehran lines up diplomatic and security arrangements to manage the fallout and benefits of a war-ending agreement.
We still ahead on Nile TV International, ladies and gentlemen, and on our today's edition of the Breakfast Show. And to shed more light on this, we're most delighted to be joined over the phone by our prominent guest, Dr. Hassan Waguih, Professor of Political Science. Dr. Waguih, great pleasure always having you with us.
It's a great pleasure to be with you. Thank you.
And now, concerning the details, going into the details, and of course the devil is always there within the 14 points of the details of the war-ending deal, or the memo of understanding between the two sides. Now, Iran is still insisting on having all the control on the Strait of Hormuz and on the unfreezing of the funds, also not allowing the inspectors for its enrichment sites. But from the other side, of course, the American president insists on the two sides. Which leverage does that give each side, your point of view?
Yes, of course, the two parties feel that they have power points and they have strengths, and they would like to keep them on the negotiating table. And I think that one of the most important problematic disputes so far is the first item, which is the interconnection between the American-Iranian war and the Lebanon fires. This is disputed in the media and everywhere in interactive diplomacy. And we have two sides now. The Israelis want this separation. You have the Iranian insist on having this as a connected issue, of course, and any fair-minded observer would see that there should be a radical solution for all the routes of war in the area. It's not only between Iran and America only. It is there in Lebanon, and of course it is there in Gaza and everywhere. So I think that the connection is logical. But the disputes among the parties are there, and it is big difference.
Yeah. And as you mentioned, concerning Lebanon, that was the card that Iran also insists on not getting the Lebanon issue separate or getting away of the memorandum of understanding with the U.S. Well, and now concerning the fifth round of negotiations concerning Lebanon and taking place in Washington, yesterday they announced that the leader of Hezbollah, Naim Qasim, had also announced that Israel must withdraw first from all the areas in the south first, and to let the leverage over there to the Lebanese army. What do you think? And on the other side, of course, Israel is rejecting the withdrawal from the areas or the territories of the southern. How can we also get out of this bottleneck as well?
This is a very complicated issue, and the simple-minded solution is there. It's logical, naturally logical orientation is that the occupier should leave the occupied land in Lebanon. But again, this is not announced by the Israelis, who really insist on being there, insisting on separating the issues between Iran and Lebanon. And of course, there is also some kind of contrast in the American administration, while we have someone like Vance, the vice president, is with what is happening on the negotiating table in Geneva, but Rubio, the foreign minister who is conducting and supervising the negotiation in Lebanon, feel also clear. He is very, very biased to the Israeli view regarding separating of the issues, and I think there is some kind of differences, big differences, even within the same country. And I think that, the whole thing is there. Hezbollah and Hamas and all those people never was there on the arena, but as a reaction to brutal occupation.
Exactly.
So the point is about occupation.
Exactly. And as you mentioned, and on the same time, they are expanding the Israeli occupation forces. They are expanding even their operations on the Gaza Strip and over there, and they are occupying more than 70% of the strip. And today is also actually, they are escalating the situation everywhere on the Lebanese and on the Palestinian front. Anyway, getting back to the Iranian and U.S. side, as Iran's chief negotiator told the state media Tuesday that the Strait of Hormuz will never return to its pre-war conditions, and that Iran will maintain control of the vital waterway. At the same time, Oman, or the Sultan of Oman, had announced yesterday that he managed to let the ships get through a subway tempo till the dispute over the Strait of Hormuz will be resolved. So what's your take on this as well?
Yeah, I think that the whole situation before the war was something very smooth. Everything, navigation was very smooth through the Strait of Hormuz, and everything was fine. But now there are complexities, and the whole world must address these complexities. You have mines, you have Iranian asking for fees, but U.S. and the entire world is rejecting that. So, but the problem is here to stay. Iran wants not formal fees, but fees for helping the environment, helping to smooth and to get the whole thing going in the Hormuz, especially after what is happening. Yeah, the rate of the ships crossing with the difficulties over there now is big. So it needs a lot of work, and it could reach to 9 months. so as navigation would come to normal if the negotiators settled all the differences.
Yeah.
But again, it is very complicated in Hormuz now, and I think that it needs a great deal of efforts. And also, you know, while the negotiation is tough and difficult and it has different points of view, you have the Pakistani mediators, Mr. Shahbaz, who mentioned something very important. He said that there are some other power in the world wanted to topple the negotiation, wants to get it back to square one, and to lead the whole world into another area that is not really desired by any fair-minded person.
Yeah, of course. He's right. Well, concerning the Iranian freezing funds, and the U.S. President Donald Trump had announced yesterday that they will unfreeze the funds to the Iranian regime, but on condition that they buy only all the goods from the American firms. On the same time, from the Iranian side, for the sport, they rejected this, and they said we are free with our funds to buy wherever we can.
Yeah, of course, the Iranian would like very much to be treated as an independent power, as power that was not defeated, and as power rejects the statements made by Mr. Trump and the American administration that they have already achieved victory, and you know, Trump used very strong language that really impacted psychologically the negotiators, and they would like to retaliate. They'd like to retaliate by withdrawing, but the mediators kept their efforts to keep them on the negotiating table. And I think that making these conditions to show one powerful person versus very weak and a defeated person, this image is rejected by the Iranians.
Exactly.
And actually it is not representing the real situation which is there on the ground. So I think that this proposal was made by Kushner and
Rubio,
intensified by Vance, I'm sorry. And I think that the Iranians are having this stature of showing that they are independent, and they are.
Of course, and of course they are always talking out of the powerful position that they got the victory over, or the overhand in the negotiations, and each side is actually showing this. Dr. Hassan Waguih, Professor of Political Science, many thanks for your insights and for being with us. Have a nice day. Well, ladies and gentlemen, short break, and we'll be right back.